everyone, and welcome to the Pleasant People podcast. I'm here today with the magical Steve from House of Hackney. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Molly.
How are you doing?
Nice to have you here.
Nice to be here. Thank you so much for having me in your absolutely rubbish building.
No, it's a pleasure. It is. It's a nice place to be.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Very fortunate.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you for having me. I'm just going to introduce myself a little bit briefly first. Yes. My name is Molly. I am a freelance interior designer with my own business, and aside from that, I run the Pleasant People podcast, which is where we get to know the people behind the brand. Hence, I'm here today with Steve. The main reason for me doing the podcast is that I just want to build like a bit of a community of creatives so people can get an insight into, you know, these amazing businesses like House of Hackney, get to know a little bit behind the scenes, get to meet the people, and build this kind of lovely, creative, chatty, cozy community.
Sounds lovely.
And now you're part of it, so welcome. Before I get you to introduce yourself, I'm going to do the really wonderful, not at all embarrassing bit of singing the theme tune, and it does even require a bit of guest participation.
Have you heard me sing before?
Well,
you might not want that. But let's go.
I don't need to sing. Okay. So the last word of the little jingle is day, and when you hear day, I would love a hey from you.
I can do that.
I'll give you a little point, okay? Come and join us on the Pleasant People podcast. Listen now and we will brighten up your day.
Hey!
Yay! There you go. See? We've got to introduce it with
my nerves.
I'm so sorry. The pressure. So first of all, Steve, if you could just introduce yourself, and even, you know, on a House of Hackney basis, and just a little bit about you as a human would be brill.
Perfect. Well, I'm Steve. I run the decorating consultation service here at House of Hackney. I've been here since the dawn of time. I've been here a long time, about 8 years, and it's been an amazing journey. The brand and the company, the business, everything has grown so much in that time. Me as a person, 8 years is a long time. I'm from Ireland. I grew up in a small village there. Design background, used to be in fashion. Wow. Used to live in Hong Kong, moved to London maybe 15 years ago.
Wow.
Showing my age there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then discovered this wonderful House of Hackney family that I've been a part of ever since. So It's been a lovely journey.
Oh, glorious. Okay, well, first of all, before we get into more about that, I want to ask you my fun quick fire questions, which
I'm terrified.
Steve was not aware of the quick fire questions before.
Didn't do my research.
So I love that you're not prepared though, because the aim is for them to be kind of like snappy.
Okay, right, well.
So we're really putting you on the spot in many a way. Favourite film?
Anything that makes me cry. I'm a crier, like genuinely, but then again, I'd cry at an Andrex ad. So,
any film?
Any film that makes me cry. Yeah, like I will literally go home and Google cry movies and watch.
Yeah, but I think it's therapeutic. I think you need a good cry.
Yeah,
you need to, you know, get it out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What about where we go and say like The Notebook?
Oh yeah,
Marley and Me.
Yeah, oh, like Titanic, like anything. Lion, that one makes me cry a lot. It's very good. Yeah.
Okay, anything that makes you cry, but not blonde, as we just established. Didn't rate that.
Didn't rate that one, but anyway.
Okay, so normally this question is favourite desert island podcast, but this we know yours is going to be Pleasant People, so I don't need you to answer that.
Obviously. Well, I got saved by the bell there. Perfect.
But instead we're going to change it to favourite desert island product. So you can take one thing with you.
Oh my God. Like a product or like a food?
See,
or like
this is a weird thing because it was in my head up for interpretation. So
because I can't live without eggs. Like I need eggs. Like I don't know how anyone could live without eggs.
If you're stranded on a desert island,
but beyond that, maybe fake tan.
Fake tan and eggs.
Although it's a desert island, so I don't need fake tan.
Yeah, of course you just tan. So you could take the eggs and you could cook them on like a stone on the sand because it would be warm enough or whatever.
Yeah,
so you're going to take a crate of eggs.
Yeah.
Bro, love that for you. Favourite cologne?
Predictable, but Santal 33.
That's not predictable. I love that.
Okay.
No. Have you got it on today?
I do.
I can smell it. It's beautiful. This is where I go, not keen. No, it smells beautiful. Favourite candle?
Favourite candle? Base.
Love a bit of base. Yeah,
like the fig.
Ooh.
From Diptyque.
Gorgeous. And okay, this is always a bigger question. Steve, do you have like...
It's coming.
like a mantra or an ethos or an epitaph, like it could be like design related or in your own personal life that you like live your life by. It's a really deep question.
And now I'm really wishing I thought through this. I do think I'm a bit of an optimist, certainly, so I would hope that I approach things with a like a positive perspective.
I saw on your Instagram that it's maximalist optimalist.
Yeah, very well observed.
Yeah, see, I've done my research.
Yeah, both of those things. Yeah,
love
both
that.
of those
Love
things.
that for you. I think it's a brilliant way. I can tell when I sit next to you, you get this like, I hate this word, but you get this like energy. You know, you're like a chirpy,
That's
happy,
my nerves
fun
about what's
person.
coming next.
What will the next question be? Okay, favourite restaurant you've ever eaten at?
Oh, again, like I'm a foodie. I love food. Absolutely love food. Anywhere, I'm a bit of a carnivore, so anywhere there's a good steak tartare, I'm down.
Stunning.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. And favourite holiday destination or place you've ever been abroad?
Ooh,
and I find this I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I find this a really hard question because for me, I have favourite places, but they're only favourite places because of the time I had there.
Absolutely, of course, and you know, being on holiday somewhere is different from living somewhere. So I love London. I love living here. I've always always knew I wanted to live here. So definitely a Londoner through and through. Well, you know, now. But love. I'm a city person. So like New York, Paris, anywhere there's a buzz, any people, energy. I'm not like a desert island person. So don't send me to the desert island to take my creative eggs.
Your favourite person?
Oh, my mum.
Your mum.
My mum. That's
Everyone
an easy one.
Everyone's going to go for their mum.
Yeah, that's
good.
a really easy one. Absolute force of nature in the best possible way.
Really?
Grew up in a very... in Ireland, there's a really lovely, like, matriarchal kind of society of empowerment of women and all that. So,
fab.
And we have that here in House of Hackney as well with our director Frida and everything. So
I love that.
Strong women.
See, my family are Scottish, so they've got the sort of Celtic thing,
warrior.
and it's the same thing. Like the women in my family are like beastie women in a brilliant way.
A great
like
way,
my nan is like 70 odd. She's a little Scottish lady with like a bob, and everyone's like, she's so sweet. I'm like, do not be fooled. Do not be fooled. She is
Don't be misled.
She is not sweet. She is wonderful. Love you, nan.
What's her name?
But Doreen.
Hi, Doreen. I like the sound of Doreen.
She's brilliant. She's fiery.
You have to get her on.
I should do a podcast with her. That's such a good point. Yeah, she's opinionated as, so we would have a lot to talk about. Outfit you'd want to be buried in? I'm not going to murder you or send you to a desert island.
I love a nice printed silk shirt.
Particularly a House of Hackney branded one.
Shirt, and then maybe like a nice, you know, Dior blazer to go with it. You know, just balance.
Balance, got to balance out. Okay, if you had a last supper, so as it stands at the minute, I'm sending you to a desert island and I'm going to murder you.
Okay,
but
it's going well. Yeah. We've just met.
It's very personal already. We're getting right into the grit of things. If you could have like a starter, main, dessert, and drink. You're going to go with the steak, maybe?
I'm going to go with the steak. You know me so well already.
I know, see?
I'm going to go man of simple taste. Steak, vodka martini. Done. Easy.
Dessert?
Something indulgent. I mean, it's my last one.
Yeah,
right? I'm not going to count the calories.
No, you do not care about that.
It's going to be like sticky toffee pudding or something, or you know.
Yeah,
but simple, like you know, like
like
nice,
basic,
indulgent,
good,
simple food, good food,
good proper food,
exactly.
dodgy food.
Yeah.
And in House of Hackney, what? I mean, obviously you can go off here, St Michael's, sorry, beautiful. What's your favourite room or favourite collection? Do you have one?
I get like House of Hackney is very much rooted in nature. So luckily, I love florals.
That's lucky. So that is really
worked
lucky.
out well. Anything that's serene and green, and I'm probably more of a tonal type person in terms of colour schemes. So things that are kind of tonal within a scheme. So we've got a wonderful print Plantasia, which is to your right now. So
beautiful.
Sorry, it's not on the camera.
No, I'll put it in. I'll put it in and they can see it. Yeah, but gorgeous.
Yeah,
so do you prefer the slightly more kind of like muted green?
I would say the more romantic type of things. Yeah,
good word.
A bit of a romantic at heart.
Bless you. Okay, and last one. Favourite. See, they're not that scary, I promise. Favourite song of all time. Or if you can't give me that because that is a giant question, the one song that will like get you up.
Well, I ran the marathon the day before yesterday, and everyone is going to slate me for this, especially like my people here at House of Hackney. I ran 4.5 hours listening to ABBA. I'm not kidding. I woke up that morning and I had made like a really like cool playlist, right, of like music that you kind of want to be seen to be running to.
Yeah.
And
but
in the end, I got there, and there was so much energy, so much love, and I just listened to 4 hours of ABBA. And I'm gonna own it. I'm just and it was great.
And I love the fact that that is so a me thing to do. Like even on the train journey up here, I always have like a lot of cool playlists of like just like a bit of like electronic and soul and cool stuff. And then even on the train up here, I went for Little Mix, Demi Lovato, Taylor Swift. So I was embarrassed, but I had a fun time.
But hey, look. I mean, whatever puts you in the right mood gets you in the right zone.
Yeah.
But soul is always good. I'm the type of person that will sit in my house on a Sunday and listen to like I have the musical taste of kind of a middle-aged woman.
Oh yes, me too.
Like a bit of Al Green, a bit of like all that on a Sunday morning.
Love a bit of Al Green.
Love it.
I think it's grown up. Obviously, I was really close to my family, and they're all like, well, my mum's 50 odd, and I've grown up with their music. So when people ask me about my musical taste, I go back to the 80s.
Oh no, my parents are much cooler in terms of their musical taste. They'd be embarrassed by my musical taste.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so so that's our quick fire questions done. Don't have to stress anymore.
Okay,
crisis over. Nothing dramatic. So now we'll get into the real stuff. So
yes.
I'm curious to know, were you always a creative kid? Have you been like into the arty thing since you were a bab? How did it grow? How did it evolve?
I think I was always a creative, yes. I think when you're not naturally inclined in a sporty way, the natural inclination is to lean into things that are more creative, maybe.
Sure.
And luckily I had a supportive family that would have encouraged that side of it. So yeah, I grew up hiding in the art room rather than out there.
Well, I spoke about this with the last people who were on Divine Savages, and I was curious to know, because some people actually spoke about Alexander McQueen because he was sort of like quite repressed, and then he sort of had this sort of like explosion, exactly, because it was sort of like, you know, the whole pressure makes diamonds argument, that it was sort of like he was all like kept. That's a lovely way of putting it. Yeah, he kept it all in, and then it was literally just like, you know, exploded sort of thing. Whereas again I said this last time, but comparing myself to Alexander McQueen, not really, but I was as a kid really arty, and my parents and family really nourished it and, you know, encouraged it and like went in that direction. And I think it's a shame for people who don't have that, you know.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like your family did. They
yeah,
were good too.
Yeah, luckily so yeah, always definitely was creative and artistic, and channeled it towards fashion and now interiors, which are quite transferable because you're playing with colour, print, pattern, scale, 100%. Proportion, kind of all the same things. You're just applying them to a room instead of a body, really.
So career-wise, how did you start, and where did you go before you before you came to House of Hackney?
Studied product design and fine art at uni, and then did fashion, and then did a master's in fashion in London, and which was a great experience. Moved to Hong Kong, and
that's cool.
Had my own menswear collection there, which was a fantastic experience. Straight in at the deep end, you get to see every side and aspect of the industry,
that's
both
amazing.
Good and bad, and a great learning curve, and also helps you channel, you know, what you do want to do. And what I realised being there was how much I appreciated London and the creativity that kind of thrives here in London. So came home and met the wonderful founders of House of Hackney, and ended up here, luckily.
So when did you move here from, because you went from Ireland first, I guess?
Yeah, so from Ireland to London to Hong Kong, and I came back here in 2012.
Wow.
So
do you like living in London?
Who wouldn't? Well, I'm sure not everyone would, but yeah, no, I'm not being it sounds a little bit sappy, but I do wake up every day like realising how much I love living here.
Really? That's so good. That's so good. And particularly because, you know, I don't know whereabouts in Ireland you came from and stuff, but yeah, London I think is obviously so niche. Like, it's a change from it. I do think it's an acquired taste. Like, as I said to you earlier, I worked here for a bit, and even when I come up to London now, I get the best bits of London.
Do you miss it?
No.
No? Wow. Okay, brutally honest.
I will be honest. No. I love it because when I come up to London, I come up for a beautiful purpose. I come up for something like this.
Okay.
Or I come up to go to a gallery or an exhibition or to see my friends or whatever.
So you get the best bits.
I get the best bits. And I'm only 30 miles out of London, so I can get in really quickly, really easily on a train. I say easily, I moaned about it.
When the trains work.
Yeah. But, you know, I think as well, sometimes if you live, I mean, you seem like you really embrace the living in London thing. Because I think a lot of the time people live in London and they don't even actually, you know, go out and see much of London.
I think that's a really good point. And you kind of, you have to make the most of it,
Totally.
or else it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So it's hard work, but if you put the work in, it's
then
really
you'll get
rewarding.
good payback. Yeah, my best mate Rory, he's lived in London for years, and every day he's out doing something, exploring something at galleries, with people.
And there's a lot to do.
You're never going to get bored. Whereas
Exactly.
again, I think if I lived in London, I'd find like a quiet bit and hide in my house. So then then it's not really, there's no point for me. But
well, yeah, and if you're quite close, you can come in and
then, as I say, I get to learn the best bits of it.
Yeah.
So I get to come in, exhibition, do lovely things. It's brilliant. You've been at House of Hackney since the dawn of time.
Yeah, in a great way. I say that I say that with love, because it's been a long time, but it's been in so many different capacities and locations, and so I've got to.
The role seems quite all encompassing and quite varied as well.
I mean, it was just a handful of people at the beginning, and now we're still very much like a family. It's still a small team, but now we're kind of a global brand, and it feels that growth has been really special to be part of.
And you've very much grown with it. So how long ago did it start, and how did House of Hackney actually begin?
Good question. So it started 11 years ago, around a kitchen table in London Fields in Hackney.
Wow.
Hence House of Hackney, literally the House of Hackney. And then it was in a kind of Victorian townhouse, which is where Frida and Javi, the co-founders, started it. So you can see that aesthetic still coming through, the kind of Gothic Victorian
Totally traditional,
and it's that's still at the root of the brand, and you can see that here in St. Michael's. And then that was kind of where it started. Opened the first showroom maybe about 9-10 years ago, and then we kind of launched New York, and we've got pop-ups in LA at the moment, and we've just launched this space about 4 months ago here in Shoreditch.
Amazing.
Which it's lucky because it's still close to the roots of the brand, because we still wanted to stay in East London and stay close to the roots.
Yeah, I must say I have done my research, and I did, unlike you, Steve, with your sudden questions. And I did read obviously that you guys are very hot on the fact that it was very much born and bred in sort of Hackney, and you want to keep it here, and not only that, on like a UK basis, you do a lot of stuff, production in the UK and things.
Yes, absolutely. I think when Frida was kind of researching production, very much wanted to respect the origins of kind of British craft and craftsmanship.
Wow.
William Morris was a huge influence, and his kind of ethos has kind of trickled through even now in the brand. Creativity with a purpose, and with a conscience, and very much British production, British manufacturing has luckily we found the right people to work with that have grown with us, and we're still working with the same people. We've had a little bit of a
excuse me kids, technical
attacked by technology.
It's just see, it's so professional here, kids. I'm gonna say that's not where it was. And technical difficulty.
I think there might be a ghost joining us.
Well, we're in a church, maybe.
We were doing an Insta Q&A live in our other showroom before, and a huge screen fell over and smashed some ceramic lamps and everything in the middle. So I think we're being visited by spirits every time we do something live.
It could be worse then. It could have smashed loads of lights in that minor.
I tried to remain calm, and my colleagues were on the other side of the camera being like, there's literally broken things
glass everywhere. No one moved because they smashed ceramic everywhere.
And I was literally kind of trying to be calm, being like, no, everyone's dead.
The light is flickering now, guys. It's me. I'm cursed. Trying to keep it professional.
Sorry about that.
And why are you sorry? It's my kit that messed up. Anyway.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I sort of totally just interrupted your thought pattern then as well. So
no, that was fun.
That was so fun. So, it was born in, as you say, around the dining table in Hackney.
Yeah.
And you seem to, obviously, because I'm very aware that this is a video like for me, this all goes on Instagram, and it's a series and blah, blah, but it's also a podcast. So people probably, when we're talking about all this stuff, don't really know actually aesthetically what we're talking about. So
sure.
If you, again, it's a very broad thing, but say I was blind, literally, because of listening to this. How would you sort of describe the whole theme, aesthetic, look, vibe of House of Hackney?
So as a brand, we have quite a strong aesthetic. It's rooted in print.
Yeah.
So everything we do very much is pattern, print and colour, but there is a scale within that. You know, it's not that everything we do is completely maximalist, to use that term. It gets banded around a lot.
It does.
But you know, there is a scale, but definitely print is the origin. It's usually print that's rooted in nature.
Yes.
So very Mother Nature has always been our muse. We look to the past. We look to, as I said, influences like William Morris. But if you were to describe the aesthetic, it would be something that's comfortable. There's a familiarity there, but there's also a subversiveness. It's kind of making it modern and relevant for kind of the modern audience.
Yeah, for me, I think there's so many. I mean, as we know, I have a problem here in the fact that I'm just obsessed with House of Hackney. I'm so biased. I always have been. Just like absolutely love everything about it. So for me, it's the fact that I've been asked, like in previous like little chats and stuff, like where do you get your inspiration from? And I've always gone, you know, if you look to nature, because if it's good enough for Mother Nature, it's good enough for me.
Absolutely.
And she's, you know, we're going to call her a woman, Mother Nature, she's a person. She can put colours together that I've never thought of. So, you know, if someone came to me and said, like, you know, I literally have photos on my phone of, like, flowers where they're like...
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Exactly.
It couldn't work.
It's like a bright mustard with, like, a weird, rich aubergine and then almost like an electric blue. And you think, I'm actually looking at the paper over there and it's kind of similar colours. And you think that wouldn't go, but again it does.
It does.
And if you look to nature, and I have read again about you saying breaking all the rules in your, you know, website and things about ripping up the interiors rule book, which
Absolutely.
I love the rebellion of it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so many people when we have a consultation will ask, you know, what are the rules, but there are none. You know, it's whatever makes you happy. We start with mood.
Yeah.
So we always ask like how you want to feel. You know, like it's not how you think the room should look, it's how you want to feel when you're in the room. And Absolutely. If you start from there, you're always going to end up being happy with it, because if it ends up being the room that and it feels how you want it to feel, then you know that's got longevity, and that's the right way to go.
Totally. I mean, and when, say, you know, you have clients come off the street and they come in here and you know, advise them on stuff, I wonder, I'll ask you, if you do get the odd people that they love the look of House of Hackney, they love the, as you say, maximalist thing of it, but they get almost a bit they go, I've had it, I'm speaking from experience, I've had it so many times that people go, I love that wallpaper, but I never have it in my house.
Yes.
And then I go, yeah, but why? And then when they do push themselves and they actually go for it, then they love it. And I think you spoke before about like your sliding scale of...
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's kind of, I guess, part of our role, helping people bridge that imagination gap. If someone will come because they know they like the aesthetic, but they might not necessarily know how to achieve it, or you know, what balance is right for them. So I guess it's all about understanding someone's needs and then being able to bridge that gap and get the right balance for them and create, you know, like it's about bringing this aesthetic to them in a way that suits them and not pushing something on someone.
Absolutely. And I think you know, you could say have a really... There's so much noise outside.
There is that. Yeah, again, it's going to be off camera there, folks, but there's a large crowd gathering outside. Is it for us? I don't know.
We're chatting away and I'm like, is there a party outside?
There's definitely something happening. Look, we spoke about London, right? You can never predict.
Honestly.
There's a very large crowd gathering right outside the window.
We'll show you.
And it's...
I think
we're missing something.
Yeah. So apologies if there's a lot of like background
It's
chat.
very loud. I'm really intrigued as to what's happening. Should we have a peek?
Wow.
It's a lot of people. It really is.
It really is.
I'm gonna say, to me, that looks like a whole office building.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say there was a fire alarm. Fire alarm. We're on the same wavelength. Yeah. Maybe it's whatever knocked over our cameras.
Literally, it's the spirit of the fire.
Look, never a dull moment.
Never a dull
moment. Never a dull moment. Oh my god.
Again.
Wow.
I mean, I love it. I think they're just gathering for us because they wanted to overhear
I'd like to say that of a Tuesday morning, people have nothing better to do than gather for us. There's literally thousands of people outside. So,
yeah, apologies if the audio is a bit weird, kids, but we can't help it. Here you go. There's a party outside for us.
This is why she hates London.
No, I know, I feel bad. Again, as I say, I love to come and visit. I just don't think I could hack it living here.
Yeah.
And maybe I could.
That's a bit much even for me.
Yeah, a bit like, guys, do you not know what we're doing right now? Like, Jesus.
Shall I close the window?
Should we close the window? Let's close the window.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna mount the bar.
Bear with. If only everyone could see what we're doing.
We're gonna be a bit cool. I mean, they're gonna see like me climbing over.
That's a lot.
That's not very helpful there. This is very eventful, everyone. I love it. It's more real.
We're saying Gaeilge. Little break.
Little break. Little breathe.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Brilliant. I can't remember where we got to. Nature, beautifulness, William Morris influence, traditional things. I was going to say I just love, as I say, the House of Hackney, all about it, because it's got this kind of like traditional, like you could put it anywhere feel, whilst being really eccentric and not, and
Absolutely.
quite out there.
I think there is that kind of a little element of nostalgia, familiarity. So it's kind of, people will see something and go, oh, that feels comfortable to me, but also there's kind of a modern relevance to it that people will feel excited by.
Absolutely.
And there is an edge, nothing is actually too traditional, or it's kind of like, it straddles this fine line. It's like a balance of feeling modern and edgy with kind of feeling that amazing, lovely nostalgia as well.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. And, going back to the whole people having it in their houses and things, I suppose people say you didn't want to do all maximalist House of Hackney. Obviously, you could just you could have like quite a simple room and then do like, a beautiful crazy leopardy chair or a floral chair or a lampshade.
And then it becomes like, a pop of, but then it's addictive, isn't it? Then you think it's going to be that one little pop, and then you end up with...
And I think people end up pushing themselves a little bit. And again, I found it every time with clients that I push them a little bit and they love it and they just want to keep pushing and pushing.
And it's such a lovely journey to be on with someone. And I think we're so lucky that we have that role. Because you go on this journey with people, you introduce them to something and they get bitten by the bug, and then they kind of run with it, and you
watch it flourish
part of their journey, and it's really lovely. And if someone comes to you to do like the WC under the stairs, because that's something that people can be brave with pattern and print and colour, and then they're like, well, that worked well, I'll do the bedroom, and that worked well, I'll do the sitting room, and they kind of they elevate and they kind of grow, and you end up being on this lovely journey with them for years, which is great.
Watching them just keep adding. I mean, that brings me beautifully onto my next point, which is your playroom, which I haven't explored properly, but I really want to. But I feel like that's obviously a new thing at St. Michael's, isn't it? And I just think it seems like a brilliant tool, because it can show people sort of how they can implement the beautiful House of Hackney style within their own home.
Exactly. So the playroom is basically where all of our selling tools, I guess, come together in the culmination of the whole House of Hackney journey. So it's a huge step for us. We've got this amazing piece of technology where we can kind of play with print and colour and pattern and scale within a room set digitally. And it's on a giant screen, so you can kind of see in real life, real scale, real colour, how your scheme would actually look.
So cool.
So a sample can only do so much, because you're looking at a swatch and it's this big. So when you see it in real life on a real scale, it can really help, especially those customers that, as I said earlier, need help bridging that imagination gap, getting there to see the end result.
I think that's something that most people struggle with, is the visualization of things.
Absolutely.
And if you're a naturally kind of arty person, or if you have done interior design, obviously you can look at like 5 swatches on a page and basically roughly know how that's going to look in a room, but understandably,
I guess, practice and trial and error.
100%.
But then for someone who's never done it before, they don't know how that translates.
Absolutely.
So,
and you can look at a small swatch and then go, that looks lovely, put it up and go, that's horrible. Whereas if you've got, I do think some of the sort of modern advancements with like VR and just like mock-ups and digital things are so handy for people, because the biggest thing is being able to visualise stuff. So you can show them. It gives them peace of mind as well.
Yeah, so that's what our playroom does. It's really exciting. So if anyone can come here and see it, please do.
Yeah, I'll have a little explore. I'm going to go have a play in the playroom in a bit, so that's so exciting. Have there been any, like, I'm sure you can tell me about, I'm sure there's been, because you've grown with the business, you've seen it from the beginning, highs and lows, peaks and troughs, ups and downs.
Oh, always. Yeah. I mean, every day has highs and lows.
Sure, I bet.
I think, the best bit, and I'm sure you agree as a designer, is seeing the end result and seeing someone really happy. Because at the end of the day, it's about, like, for me anyway, it's about the connection with the person you're designing for.
Yes.
And especially if, sometimes a journey is really easy and someone knows what they want, and you're just almost there to like handhold a bit and just reaffirm their choices. But when it's a bit more challenging, and when when you have had a bit of a struggle on the journey and there have been lumps and bumps and you know, changes of mind and you know, like a longer journey than you might have wanted, which can happen, which is fine. I think, you know, it's all the more rewarding when you get that email and they go, I love it. And you're like, oh,
take a breath. And as a business, you know, like, you know, that's on your personal design journey, that's brilliant. But like, and as a business as well, I'm sure, because I mean, it's gone from, as you say, sat around someone's dining table to where it is today, which is like a big internationally known brand, which is amazing. Have there ever been, because I like to do the podcast, to have the chat, in case people are sort of, you know, fellow creatives who are thinking about growing a business or love the idea of a creative business, and you know, the trials and tribulations that come with that. So through the growth of the actual journey, has there been any like massive stumbling blocks that you guys have faced, like on a larger scale?
I think trying to stay true to our ethos of creativity with a conscience and trying to think of the planet and the people along the way has meant that, say, producing in England has had its challenges.
I bet.
We had floods in Lancashire years ago and all of our fabric stock was wiped out, and you know, there's things that like we were without fabric for like, you know, a year. And what you have to do is, you know, rely on your relationship and your trust with your clients and businesses that you work with, and be honest and say, look, this has happened, bear with us, we'll get back on track. But you know, a flood is a flood, and you know, like
no one can do it.
What else has happened? We've had you know, things happen, you know, life happens. We had a fire in our old office, and oh my god,
Mother Nature is with you, love her, but she's against you.
You know, but you get through things, and again, as I said, communication, honesty, as long as you tell people what's happening, and you know, again, you know, there's been a pandemic, there's been, everyone has, but I think that's almost easier for people to understand because everyone was going through it at the same time. So there's no kind of questions asked.
Anyway, you wrong, they'd go COVID, you go fair enough, you know.
Exactly. So that one's a bit different, and we were having a chat earlier, Molly, and I think in one way we were talking about how the industry has changed through the pandemic, and not, you know, the small silver lining of the pandemic has meant that it's globalized us as a brand and a service, because people can now trust in kind of online, the digitalization of a consultation service. People can now kind of go online and chat to you through, you know, Zoom or Google or Teams.
I was so scared of Zoom before.
Oh, same.
I was like, what is this? Whereas now, cool, not bothered.
When you have to, you know, obviously we all did it, and now we all have become comfortable with it, and you know, post-pandemic, it now means that we're constantly chatting with people all around the world, and I'm not just I'm logging in to kind of all my consultations, and I don't know where, you know, where are you in the world, and it's really exciting. It's really globalized it, which has been really lovely.
I think there's been a lot of good and obviously a lot of bad that came out of the pandemic, but in some ways that global stretch where you can suddenly find yourself talking to someone in a foreign country, like from, you know, it's really late for them, it's really early for you, like really fun, like really
the Eurovision greetings from
Moldova. 100%. And going back to your, you know, because I have read a bit again about your 3 like guiding principles, and you just touched on the creativity with the conscious thing. Love that. You know, you guys are really into like nature, charity, sustainability, all that jazz. Tell me a bit about that, you know.
Well, we're B Corp, which has been an amazing accreditation to have, but it's what that stands for, and it's something that you get to and then you stop. It's you know, a continual growth and a journey, and especially being a small company, and you know, it's been a really great journey for us, and that basically means that we care about people and the planet. So
it's brilliant.
The team here, but wider than that, like our customers and the people in our neighborhood and our community, you know, and our greater community, and then obviously also, as I said, Mother Nature being our muse, you have to, when you take, you have to give back. So, you know, working with the World Land Trust, working with a lot of the charities that we have over the years, there's always been a charity partner since I've been with the brand.
That's so wonderful.
And it's been really lovely to kind of constantly work with different people, different foundations, and know that you're that we're Mother Nature's giving so much to us. That's what the brand is based on. So it's nice to know that we're giving a little bit back.
And you just touched on the whole community thing, which again, going back to my very beginning point, that's the whole point for me about the sort of Pleasant People podcast, and again, bringing people together and community and fellow creatives, because for me, I've always, as we touched on before, I've always been so blessed that like my family and my friends, they're all quite an arty kind of tribe. And I think it can be kind of you can struggle a bit if you're like a naturally arty person, because again, when my mum was younger, she spent a lot of time people going like, don't really understand you, you know, like, whereas I think, and you know, that sense of community is so important, and you have it with your like local area, but I think you also have it in your team. Like you say that your, you know, House of Hackney is like a family,
absolutely,
and that's so something that I think is massively lost in like a lot of like, even like say slightly more corporate businesses maybe, but they don't necessarily value their like staff, they don't necessarily have like a connection with like, I turned up here today and I felt like I'm at home, like everywhere. I'm
like a big home, this building, and it's just all these rooms of creative flurry.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
and you
is
all
great.
get on so beautifully, and you have this beautiful sense of like, I just love it. I think, you know, the aesthetic from the outset is gorgeous, and then you've got like the community and the feeling behind it, and the charities that you give to and everything. I think it's
the community here, and then even as we just mentioned, the greater community, like it's a very collaborative brand. We're always working with kind of other companies, other people, other influences. There's all, you know, which is great. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps stimulation coming in, and you know, keeps the creative juices flowing.
I was going to ask you about collaborations actually, because you've got anthropology. Oh my god, when I saw the anthropology one, my heart actually burst.
Yes, they're next door right now, having a press launch with all of the gorgeous products.
Honestly, I saw it on their website, and I can't explain to you how I actually felt like my heart actually hurt. I was like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever looked at in my life. Like,
yeah, it's so good, so good. I think collaborations have always been close to the heart of House of Hackney, because what it does is it brings you to another market, so it like brings you to people that we might not have seen us before.
Yes, true.
And then it brings other influences into us, so you know, you kind of open your eyes wider, as well as you know, like other people seeing you more. So it's kind of, it works both ways.
And I think two creative sort of businesses or people or minds on it is often greater than one.
Always,
merge and grow, and I just love it. I did have a few actual questions from Instagram.
Oh,
because I said,
sheesh.
Again, don't freak out. But,
takes a sip of water.
They said, someone said, we've just seen your new launch, Songs of the Sea. Tell me a bit about that. That's a very open question. Thank you, someone.
So Ashley, one of the team here, she came up with an amazing playlist, because if you think about this space, it embodies the brand, and you know, it's very there's so many senses. It's not just a physical building. No. You think of the smells and the, you know, what you're seeing, but also what you're hearing. So there's I mean, it's quiet now because we're chatting. There's music playing in the other rooms. But yeah, Songs of the Sea is a lovely playlist. We always have a playlist for whatever mood we're feeling. So the mood we're feeling right now for autumn winter, we have this Songs of the Sea is basically our new collection for autumn winter, and it's a bit psychedelic. It's a bit rock and roll. It's a bit 60s, 70s, and I'm gonna say 80s.
Love that.
And it's really cool. It's really psychedelic.
Yeah.
So they are the sounds. So the songs on that playlist are those sounds.
Well, someone at the end of said question said, what do you consider to be the most important thing about a home? And before you answer me, I just thought you very much like covered it in a really nice way then, in the fact that when we look at design or whatever, obviously you're a brand, and you know, it's so easy, I think, for people to go, I make some stuff, here it is. Whereas when you cover so many bases that you do, and as you say, it's like touch, feel, smell,
it's
atmosphere. That's for me what transforms a space from just kind of being like a nice space into a place where you actually feel it's a feeling, isn't it? Totally content.
And that person said a home, right?
Yes, yeah.
And I think that's key. It's I think it's about how you feel when you're in the space.
Yes.
It's about mood. And all those things add up. It's not just how it looks, or it's not just how good one thing is, or how good something smells, or you know, whatever. It's all of those different sensory things that combine to create something that feels right. So yeah, it's about mood.
I love it. My other two questions from the gram we've sort of covered. Oh no, someone said, what would be your ideal way to spend a weekend other than running a marathon?
I would do it again. It was great. I mean, I'm sitting here jelly leg next to you, but it was a great way to spend a weekend. So we're again. Oh God, I'm gonna say London again, because I'm just so lucky. I love walking around London town, going to the V&A. Going just kind of taking in all the sights and sounds, and maybe going for a nice bit of food, nice vodka martini. Go up to Hampstead, Kenwood House. Yeah.
That sounds good. Should we do that now?
Yeah.
After this,
shall we?
Finish? Yeah. Right, well, that is literally concludes my Pleasant People podcast. It's been brilliant. You're wonderful. I love you.
It's been very, very, very pleasant indeed.
It's been a lot with the noise and the text.
So much has happened while we've been sitting
we've been
here.
like, we're having a casual chat about interiors and there's chaos all around us.
Yeah,
but,
we love it though.
We love the chaos, but it's been a pleasure and thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Molly. I've really enjoyed it.
Welcome to my abode. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I'm going to switch the cameras off. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
People, everyone, people. I can see people.